Hey, what's up? It's Andrew again from Offshore Audio. So today I'm going to follow on from our last video, which was about compression. And this time I'm going to share with you a little trick that's really useful in live situations, whether it's concerts or just events with people talking, conferences, that kind of thing. And that is sidechain compression. So without further ado, let's dive in and I'll show you what it is. Okay, so last time we looked at compressors and just some general techniques for compression, especially instruments and things like that, and talking about ways that we might set compressor settings. But this time I thought I would share a really useful technique with you and a specific way that I tend to use it in a lot of my work, which is fantastic, and some other recommendations for ways that you can use it. And that is sidechain compression. So as you remember from last video, compression is just turning down the dynamics. So if I select this channel where I've got some music, and I turn my compressor on and tap into it, you see here, as I turn my threshold down, you begin to see this gain reduction here. And so what's happening is, as the threshold meets the level of the music, it's turning the gain of the music down. Yeah, so you see the music input here and the gain reduction here. So as I turn the compressor down, it meets this music here, and the music crosses the threshold, and then the music is turned down. So for example, if I turn the threshold right down, you hear a complete drop in the level of music. So here I've got a microphone, right? Two. Great. And so let's say I want to compress my microphone. So I'll turn the compressor on, just like I did before. Make sure I've got some okay settings in here. Two. And as I bring this threshold down, two, you see there's some compression there. With sidechaining, what we do is we turn, the compressor still turns a selected channel down, but it does so based on the input of another channel. So if I look at my first channel, which was music, and I go into my compressor, I'm going to turn my compressor on, okay? But see here, you'll see it says key in source. So it's often called a key input or a sidechain input. And what that does is that lets you select another channel to trigger the compressor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that vocal. Channel 2. 2. You see it moving down there now. Now that I've selected channel 2 as the source, 2. You see, as I speak into this microphone, gain reduction happens on the music. 2. And I can bring that threshold down even further, so that when my music is playing, 2. I now have what's called a ducking compressor. So whenever I speak into this microphone, or your talent speaks into the microphone, you can dip the music. I set a really heavy ratio here. And you can, of course, play with the settings to find what solution works best for you. Maybe you want a really long release so that after someone speaks, there's a full second or so before the music comes back on, like so. 2. A great way to use that is at events where maybe there's an MC or someone who's hyping the crowd up, but there's often like music going on. That could be like a community event where there's a stage and there are stalls round about and people are milling about, but there's always something coming on and off the stage, and there's an MC who comes on and speaks over the music. If you set up a sidechain compressor like this, then you don't have to worry about turning the music up and down when that person speaks. You can just let them go on stage, and as soon as they speak, it's going to automatically dip the music. And when they stop speaking, the music will come back up. Now, another amazing way to use this is you can actually use it when you're mixing gigs as well. A great way of using it is to sidechain the bass guitar to a kick drum, so that every time the kick drum sounds, it dips the bass guitar very, very slightly, And that way you get that punch of the bass drum through, which you hear quite a lot in dance music. It gives you that kind of pumping effect of every time the bass drum hits, the rest of the track seems to collapse around it and build it back up again. I'll recap it just so you know exactly what you're doing again. You select, so to sidechain compress something or select a key input, you select the track that you want to go down, right? And you activate the compressor on that track. This is the track, the music, that we want to turn down. You select your key input or your sidechain input to be the track that you want to do the turning down. So the track that you want to control the volume of the music or the other track. So track 1 is to be turned down. You turn your compressor on that. Track 2 is the one to trigger the turning down based on its volume level. And that's the one that you select as the sidechain input. Okay, so I hope you found that one really, really helpful. If you're interested in getting started with compression, I have 2 templates for compression that you can use on an X32 or M32 console, and you can just check the link down below. The main takeaways for this with sidechain compression are, remember that you've got your main signal that you are compressing, so that's the one that you open your compressor on, and then you have your key input, that's the second signal. Key input or sidechain input, and that is the signal that triggers the compression. Let me know if you've had success with sidechain compression or if you hate it and it just doesn't work. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.